I'm Jason Brown, Chief Wine Stylist and owner at Moppity Vineyards, here today at the Wine Society. In a word, it's delicious. I love this Chardonnay. And it's my style of Chardonnay. Aromatically, it's interesting. It's got a bit of peach skin, nectarine, a little bit of oatmeal character and struck match, which I think is really interesting. The palate is quite extraordinary. Initially there's an attack of fruit. What's really happening in the palate is this slow release as it extends across the palate. It builds up in power and intensity across the palate. And so it's less to do with what happens in the first 1 or 2 seconds in the mouth, much more about what happens in the next sort of 10 seconds after that. And I think if we focus on that, it's a really fascinating wine. It just builds and builds in power and depth and richness. I think the key element of uniqueness in this wine is its region. This is Tumbarumba Chardonnay. So Tumbarumba, for those that aren't familiar with the region, is the coldest viticultural region on mainland Australia. It's at the foothills of the Snowy Mountains in southern New South Wales. We can see Mount Kosciuszko from the vineyard. It's a very, very cold winemaking region, similar in climate to southern Tasmania. We get more sunlight than southern Tasmania, but in terms of heat degree days, very similar. And similar again to central Otago in New Zealand. So ultra cool climate winemaking. When we're sourcing fruit from much cooler regions, we get better intensity of flavour and more drive, but also we retain the high natural acidity, which means the wine finishes with this really clean, zingy freshness, this brightness that you don't get in Chardonnays from warmer regions. I'm not a chef, but I love food, and I do love the idea of matching food and wine, because I think when you get it right, it's a classic case of the whole equaling more than the sum of its parts. Chardonnay, I think this style of Chardonnay, given that it has really high zingy natural acidity, but there's also some richness there, lends itself to a wide range of foods. I really love Chardonnay and this style of Chardonnay with seafood. There are no real rules. I think just try a variety of different foods and enjoy the journey, I think. Yeah. Oh, that's a tough question, I think, because it's a very personal question. Right now, this is a really exciting wine. It's zingy and fresh and vibrant. So, for some people, if that's what you're looking for, now's the best time. Over time, though, that sort of freshness and zinginess and the vibrancy is going to give way to much more interesting, I think, secondary, rich, toasty characters, which I think will make it a more interesting wine. Yeah, maybe at 5 years of age, I think it'll be looking really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a thing, and some people don't believe that it's a thing, but I do. Because quite often, when I'm reflecting on a wine that I've had, it's not just the wine that I remember, it's the whole setting, it's who I was with, it's the food that we had, it's the conversation that we had, and the music's a part of that as well. And with this wine, what I'm seeing is classic, slow, moody blues. I'm thinking Stevie Ray Vaughan, Tin Pan Alley, really cerebral, clean guitar, gentle licks that has a cruisy vibe that runs through with this wine, and leaves you time to stop and think and pause and contemplate. And I think that's what this wine is about. I think to get the most out of this wine, you want to give yourself time to stop and think not just about what happens as soon as it hits the palate, but what happens for the next sort of 10 or 20 seconds after that, because that's where a lot of the magic happens. So yeah, for me, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Tin Pan Alley. Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video. It means a lot to us here at the Wine Society. If you'd like to stay close and keep up to date on all things wine, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the button in the wine glass or the red button down below the video. We'd love to share more with you.